In 2010, 10 Department of Education schools in the eastern suburbs launched a program now known as Asia Engaged. In this week's episode, we discover how 4 of these schools have shared ideas, intercultural differences and their approaches in teaching a second language with their Chinese counterparts. It is a true cross-cultural program which has allowed Chinese students to be taught by Australian teachers and now has many Australian students immersed in a challenging and engaging program of language learning.
We teach Mandarin here at Balwyn North, and with our large number of students who speak Mandarin at home, we need to provide a program that meets not only their needs but also the needs of the children who don't speak Mandarin at home. So we've put in a few different strategies this year, one of which is to have a Chinese language assistant from China, so she works within the program. We also have introduced a language extension program for native speakers of Mandarin to provide them the extension that they need, and extended the contact time that the rest of the school gets in Mandarin teaching classes.
Some of the strengths of our LOIP program at Balwyn North Primary School are that our LOIP program is integrated to the school curriculum topics, and it's designed to suit for different ability levels. It's also promote learning that it's challenging and engaging for our students. And the program are very creative. Our LOIP program is very integrated to all the key learning areas, and it's catered for individual students' learning needs and styles. The purpose of the program is to engage the kids, and our program is very successful with the kids because they always know that when they come to LOIP, they have to try their best, and there's no threatening, learning environment for them. They always feel comfortable, and the activity we do with them always make them feel like, it's something they're doing in the classroom, not something different. Yeah.
At Camberwell Primary School, we have a bilingual program, and 50% of the day is spent immersed in the French language and 50% of the day in the English language. You might ask why we're involved in the Eastern Metropolitan China Study Tour. At a school like ours, being aware of the critical need to speak languages across the world and for children to develop brain capacity and problem solving and be able to communicate with others, it was of great interest to us to see what the China agenda was. We're aware of their development in education and their high results in the PISA Shanghai testing. Our basic beginnings with this and our involvement with language and how that might be taught was an interesting start. We thought that would be our driver, but in the end, the actual language used became totally irrelevant. It was really the way teachers use their teaching strategies in classrooms. The difference, the intercultural differences between the way we approach teaching children became of intense interest, and that was obviously our connections that we needed to continue into the future.
I was part of the Eastern Metropolitan Region study tour to China last year, where we visited schools in Shanghai, Beijing and Suzhou. The Chinese teachers were interested to see the way that we would run our classes here at Camberwell. So we taught a lesson to their class of 52 students in the same way that we would teach a class here in Camberwell. We had an introduction to the whole class about a topic. We broke them into ability groups, and we had 2 groups running guided reading while 2 groups were doing an independent activity. The Chinese teachers were very interested to see how this would work in practice, as their lessons are generally taught to the whole class. I feel very lucky to be part of this project. I've improved my own teacher practice, and I feel that I have a lot to share with the staff back here at Camberwell. I've looked at my own planning and the planning of the teams that I work with, and I think we have a lot to learn from the way that the Chinese plan and deliver their lessons.
We're in a situation where we can actually teach each other's classes. By using Skype, which is a very simple, basic technology, we can open up our classrooms. We can do shared teaching, shared planning, which will give us a really strong basis to have professional discussions afterwards. We've done this. We did it with the science lesson. 2 weeks later, we were able to sit down with 3 teachers from our staff and 25 teachers from their staff, all English language teachers, and we were able to talk about what happened in our classroom, what was effective and why it worked. And this is really where we want to go gradually as we develop our relationship. We want to develop our understanding of what strategies they're using in their classes, what strategies we're using, whether we can actually start to apply some of the strategies that they're using here. We know that they're keen to use some of our strategies there, the group-to-group work. So can we actually improve our teacher practice, our classroom experience for our students by working together?
My name is Lily. I'm teaching across Camberwell High School and Canterbury Primary School.
My name is Lele. I am also teaching in both schools. And both the Mandarin programs in both schools started this year. And our goal is for the students to have fun. And if they want to travel to China, we would like them to be able to speak. So it's very different from the traditional program where you learn a lot of words that probably won't be used.
And also very interesting points is that because Lele is primary school trained and secondary school trained, so that we designed the whole curriculum together. When we designed the curriculum together, actually we have lots of stuff to share including this methodology and all the resources.
For the primary students, we start from prep to year 6, so everyone starts from 0. And when they get to year 6, if they choose to go to high school, they will still have the same teachers, so they can build up the report and we know who they are. We can start from where they are at, which is very important in terms of providing individual curriculum. It's not like the traditional programs, it's because we focus on the communication as well as language aspect. So we move away from doing worksheets and also learning things like colours and body parts, which you don't use very often when you travel. So our aim is, if you book a ticket to China at the end of the year, you will be able to greet and go shopping and go and order food. Another special thing about this program is we're not just consider this as a subject, we're teaching as a skill. So the kids not only can speak the language, but when they travel to China, they understand the cultural ways of how people live and how people behave. So they will learn that through the program as well. Both of us love teaching both in the primary school and Camberwell High School, and the program's been going really well.
And all the kids and parents like the program very much because our kids actually have opportunity to teach the parents the language.
The Asia Engage program has really enriched the opportunities for second language learning and the effectiveness of it. Learning language in isolation we know is not particularly successful or rapid, but when you put students into an immersion environment of language and they have relationships and they have a context for why they would be learning that language and who they're learning about, then we get a much better result.